Hello, I'm Andrea from the Creative Dream Incubator, and I've had a hard week. I've had a really hard week, and that is why I'm doing this class called "The Hard Parts Are Where the Magic Happens" next week. It's not a class; it's a healing circle, a magic circle, a space to work through this stuff together to find the magic in the hard. And so the reason why I wanted to offer this just as a free thing for everyone who wants to participate is because I've been in the hard stuff so much this week, and I've been noticing my own process with it, noticing the places where I resist the healing that and the inner work that my dream is really calling me towards, and how even with all the experience I have, even with all the training I have, even that this has been my full-time job for 8.5 years, I still struggle. Like, I still resist and don't want to go into that. And the thing that I know that makes it easier for everyone is to do this in a supportive container, in a supportive circle. So that's why I am doing this free thing. It's not like a sales funnel or something. This is what's happening for me, and I want to share it. We all have different things that happen that are shitty. And it doesn't even matter what the shitty thing is. What matters is how we react to it. So I noticed that, especially in the earlier part of the week, the way that I was reacting to it was to avoid it. And it felt almost like just I don't know how to describe it, a big uncomfortable thing. And it was uncomfortable. And every time I would look at it or like think about it or be forced to look at it or think about it, I would just like recoil, right? It's uncomfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Human beings are anti-discomfort. That's just how we are, right? We will avoid discomfort. Now, avoiding the uncomfortable thing actually puts you in a place of real disempowerment. Anything you avoid has power over you. You can't access your full power if you're avoiding something, because avoiding the thing takes energy, and it cuts off all the possibilities that are anywhere around that thing because you're avoiding that thing. So for me, it felt like, if I'm represented by a sphere, I am this whole sphere. It's like you put a floor in the middle of it, and everything below that floor I can't have anymore because I'm avoiding this uncomfortable feeling. And so I'm crouched in what's left, and it's a contraction. And that's the energy that we all have when we are avoiding the scary things. We contract. And as long as we are contracted, we do not have access to our power. We do not have access to our full creativity. We do not have access to our inner wisdom. We don't have access to any of the things that we need to deal with the thing. And we don't have to do that. That contraction that we do is our choice. We're contracting because we're avoiding discomfort. And it's a valid thing to do, but it's also really important to realize that's what we're doing. Because when you can stop contracting, you can expand, right? When you're in an expanded state, that is when you are the most connected to your inner power, your creativity, your inner wisdom, your inner strength, everything you need to be who you really are and to create your life in whatever way you want to create it. And so the only way to go from that contracted place to that expanded place is face that uncomfortable thing. So this is what I've been wrestling with this week, going back and forth between contracting and kind of getting curious and contracting, and then like, oh, maybe I should explore this, and contracting, and back and forth, right? And each time I go become curious or willing to explore, expands a little more and a little more and a little more. And then finally, last night, I was really just focused, like, I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to keep exploring this awful feeling. Like, I really noticed, holy shit, like for days I've been in this contraction pattern, and this isn't helping. And once I was able to actually give all of those feelings space I was having, it was hilarious, because I was having all of my fears, all of my inner critics, all of these parts of me that just react strongly to situations. They're freaking out. But the issue itself, it's a thing that went wrong. Sure, I don't love the thing that happened, but when I accept this happened and look at, okay, what are my options here? How do I fix it? It's like, wow, I can actually rebuild it better than it ever was. Even though I'm sad that the thing broke, I now have the opportunity to rebuild it better than it ever was. So it's like it was never the big problem that my inner critics and fears were making it out to be. But I would have gone on believing that had I not made that decision to stop contracting in the face of discomfort and instead be willing to expand, be curious, be willing to explore. There's so much magic in that, and I know people talk about it, and like understanding it logically is really different from experiencing it and being in a space where other people are open to doing that as well. Because often when people talk about facing their fears, what they really mean is pounding their fears down so small that they can jump over them and pretend that they're not there. Right? So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about literally being with this and then expanding into that place where you have access to your wholeness. Because that's the power that you need to actually make your dream real. So this work excites me, even when it pisses me off like it did this week. And so I'm just really looking forward to sharing this. I hope that you're going to come to the hard parts are where the magic happens. It's happening next week. I'll put a little sign up box wherever I post this video or a link to the sign up box. Yeah, I'm just feeling so relieved to be out of that contracted place. I'm just feeling more expansive. I'm feeling just more relaxed about everything. I trust myself more. I'm more inspired. And I have all that energy now to actually fix the problem instead of freak out about the problem, right? That's always just a way better place to be.